Welcome back to Italy, round 8 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us here for the MXGP of Emilia, Romagna. Well, the first time we came here was an age ago now, 1979. Heikki Mikkola rode his Yamaha to a perfect 1-1. He beat Graham Noyce that day, who finished second overall, 2 third-place finishes, and the man, Roger Da Costa, came home third with a second and a seventh. Edward Gabors has also won around here, Corrado Maddy and the American Trampas Parker, who went 1-1 to win his first ever race and Grand Prix victory around this circuit when he was a semi-factory KTM rider that day. Davy Strybos was second, Sandro Puzar was third, both those two swapping third and second place finishes. But today it's MXGP, and Tom Vial was your winner on Wednesday here. Jeffrey Hurlings was, of course, victorious on Sunday with a 1-1 on the same, the only person to become a two-time winner around here. Will that change today? Very hot outside today as well, and barely a breeze, back to where we were about a week ago. The racetrack here, just under 1,700 meters long, slightly uphill start, about 150 meters, 200 meters, 120 meters into that first turn, I should say. See the sector points there. There are your winners since we've been here this week. Jeffrey Hurlings and Jorge Prado in MXGP, Maxime Renault and Tom Vial in MX2. But the circuit today may be a little bit quicker than it has been on the 2 previous visits. More on that in a moment. But this is where we are right now, 13th of September, and actually the original calendar had us in China, and then next week would have been Imola, done and dusted with the World Championship with the Motocross Nations the following week. But as you can see, we've still got a lot of racing to go due to no fault of our own, so let's enjoy it. Riders down on the grid, of course. Before we go anywhere, though, let's catch up with a behind-the-scenes look at F&H Kawasaki MX2 racing team.
Since the beginning of season 2020, our team name changed to F&H Kawasaki MX2 Racing Team, which means we are the official MX2 team of Kawasaki, and yeah, we are so grateful for the massive amount of support that they give us.
Third overall. Harup climbs the second step of the podium after that win ensured he would finish second overall. F&H Kawasaki MX2 Racing Team, Mattis Borromei, Ryan van der Moosdijk, his teammate, second overall. Van der Moosdijk over the line there in second, and Borromei will come through third for third overall. F&H Kawasaki putting their 2 Kawasaki's in the top 2 racing team. Mattis second overall.
I always dreamed to be on the podium in MX2. Latvia was amazing. I like the track, I like the sand. I knew I was confident there, but I didn't expect 3 times podium in a row.
So I like the track in Latvia. It's a good track. I have the good feeling also. My bike was good. Then everything is good and a good feeling.
Inside of me, I knew already what I was capable of. I sort of just went out on the track and did everything I could. I just seemed to be very relaxed, very comfortable with the preparation we've done before the season started. It sort of showed in the results that when I don't think too much and don't worry too much, I can actually do pretty well.
For everybody I have individual programs, but that's more outside the bike. On the bike everybody do the same.
Almost every time we go training in the sun, then for sure it's better for me.
I also have some mental tools, and then I work with them and I try to get the best out of them.
Ryan van der Moosdijk has got one thing on his mind, and that is the win. Oh, clean him up! Harup finds his way past Olsen as they work their way towards the first corner. Yes, goes around the outside. It's to Mattis Borromei, put in the fastest lap of 1:55.
We have the good bike, we have the good engine, everything is good. Then for this I chose this team.
I was the only rider that already had a year at F&H Kawasaki. The team is very relaxed, F&H Kawasaki. So for me to come in, it was quite easy. They took really good care of me from the start. All in all, it was pretty easy for me and very comfortable for me to make the change.
Our ambitions and expectations for this season are definitely to try to finish in the top 7 with all of the 3 of our riders.
Finish both motos and be consistent around the top 5 and have as many podiums as possible.
Yeah, my ambition I think is ride like I ride in the training, so do some good podium.
As long as I just stay to my program and do what I do best, then I know that I will be able to be in top.
Rome is not built in 1 year, so you know these guys are also in our team next year. So I think maybe they better watch out a little bit because we go wide open.
Quick look behind the scenes there at F&H Kawasaki MX2 Racing Team. Riders are on their sighting lap, the MXGP boys, but a few moments ago, before they did leave, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid. She caught up with Thomas Covington on the Gavin Van Venrooy Yamaha, and before that, Monster Energy Yamaha of Gauthier Paulin.
Okay, we're almost ready for MXGP Race 1, but before we get things underway, I'd like to speak to Gauthier Paulin. Firstly, just to see how you are with your finger and after the crash you had on Wednesday.
Obviously, finger feels better. You know, it doesn't have all my motion, but right now it doesn't disturb me at all. It's true that, thanks for asking me, last Sunday was a heavy crash, obviously, and I feel it. I feel it on my neck, and I feel sore. So, but I'm 100%, you know, I'm ready to fight.
Well, also, what happened in time practice? Because it looked like you were being held up or something, or you looked quite frustrated out there.
Yeah, sure. I had my first best session, second best session, and then third session I was in a loop with the rider that killed my lap a few times this year. So I was really frustrated to him, and I showed him that I was off, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen anymore.
Well, I hope you have a better race. Thanks, Gauthier. Okay, next rider I want to speak to is Thomas Covington. Mainly because I feel like I haven't really spoken to you much this season at all. I just wanted to get a catch-up. How's it been, just looking at the races? Your Italian campaign looks like it's been a pretty tough one.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a tough year in general for me, just trying to learn the bike a bit better and trying to progress each weekend. So I feel like we've done that each weekend, getting a little bit better, you know, dropping the gap a little bit each weekend. So as long as we keep going this way, then I'm happy.
And the move up to the MXGP, the bigger bikes, how's that been for you?
Yeah, for sure, it's a lot of change for me. New class, new bike and everything, but just got to do the best I can and keep working hard, and I think eventually the results will come.
Okay, best of luck. Thank you. Good luck there to TC and all the guys here. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
So as you can see, we've got one or two Italian fans in the place. Some Gajser supporters in there as well. But take a look at the championship standings before we go anywhere. Obviously, Jeffrey Hurlings will not line up today, and he will miss the next 3 rounds in Italy as well at Mantova. But he does still lead the championship by 22 points over Tony Cairoli, who is 4 clear of Tim Gajser. Jeremy Seewer is just 20 points adrift, and then AJ just 7 further behind him. Koldenhoff only 6 behind the Lithuanian. Then we've got Prado only 7 points behind him as well. So, you know what? It's all of a sudden this championship has just closed right up, because any one of those guys, Cairoli, Gajser, Seewer, Jasikonis, Koldenhoff, Prado, at the very least, maybe even Paulin, can get in amongst it. And, well, we'll see a dramatic end to the championship. Anyway, here's how time practice went earlier. Glenn Koldenhoff, the standing construct gas rider, and Tony Cairoli, just before they went out on their sort of out lap, if you like, before they put in the quick lap. DeSalle tipped over in a corner. Wouldn't get much better for the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider, just 13th in the time session. But his teammate, Roman Febvre, put a lap in early, but it wasn't going to be good enough to get him inside the top 5. He eventually came home in 9th place. Tim Gajser eventually came around in 5th for Team HRC, with the time just over a second behind the eventual pole sitter. Glenn Koldenhoff was in the thick of it as well, and well in the mix, but he could only manage 6th position in what was a very tight session, actually. Jeremy Seewer eventually came home in 2nd on his Monster Energy Yamaha. And that was for the 3rd time this year. Jorge Prado danced his way around on his Red Bull KTM to eventually come home in 4th, less than 9/10 between him and the eventual pole man. Mitch Evans was third, at best of the season, but it was Arminas Jasikonis for the third time this year, 0.2 quicker than Jeremy Seewer, and he put that in on lap 9 of 10, right at the end of the session.
MXGP.
Here's how the riders go to the line then for the MXGP of Emilia Romagna, round 8 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. AJ on pole for the third time this year for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, and for the third time this year, Jeremy Seewer goes to the line second for Monster Energy Yamaha. Mitch Evans, a best qualifying in MXGP for him. Team HRC, the Red Bull KTM of Jorge Prado, 4th, Tim Gajser, 5th, Glenn Koldenoff, the lead standing construct gas rider. Then we had Calvin Verlanderen, the Gavin van Venrooy Yamaha, Jordi Tixier, a best time practice for him as well for JT 911. He came home in 8th, Roman Febvre 9, and Alessandro Lupino 10. And we had Paulin, Bogus, DeSalle, Bobryshev, Van Horbik, Monticelli, Jacobi, Cairoli 18th, Zach Pichon 19th, Dylan Walsh 20th, head of Covington, Petrov, Leo, Tom Kopp, Pascal Rauschenecker, Jose Boutron, and the rest of the guys. It's another hot one here today, folks. It's gone past 30 degrees on the old thermometer. Riders making their way to the line. There is Mitch Evans. Put in a good performance on Wednesday. Did the Australian, who was at 11th place in the standings with a 9th and a 4th. So getting better, getting stronger every time he goes out on that bike. Arminas Jasikonis, though, just 7 points behind Jeremy Seewer in 5th in the championship. And there is the Yamaha rider, Jeremy Seewer. Had a couple seconds here on Sunday, got his first race win on Wednesday. Had a poor start, had to settle for 7th, but that was good enough for another podium, his 3rd one of the season. But he was 3rd overall on Wednesday. Jorge Prado, the first Spaniard to win in the Premier class since Jonathan Barragan in 2009. That was the Catalunya GP at Belpuig. Barragan went 1-4 that day, edged out Cairoli. So it's been a while. Tim Gajser just prepping the grid zone there, which he's allowed to do if there's any dirt or anything just in and amongst, or anything just where the gate might fall. There's Verlanderen, number 10, Gavin van Venrooy. Goes to the line 7th, or went to the line 7th. But Glenn Koldenoff, standing construct, gas. 6th in time practice, currently 6th in the championship standings, 6 points behind AJ. And already a Grand Prix and race winner this year, round 3. CB10, Calvin, 17th in the championship. Are we going to see him better? 11th overall, which is done on 2 occasions this year. Both of those in the sand in Latvia. At the Latvian Grand Prix in the MXGP of Riga, there is the number 3 of Roman Febvre. Monster Energy Kawasaki rider. Already been on the podium as well, and since then he's been 5th 3 times and 4th once. He'd love to get back on the podium. This guy would love to be on the podium for the first time in MXGP as well. Mitch Evans. He was on our studio show yesterday. So the last few riders making their way to the line then. And if you are interested, actually, the lap times on Sunday in time practice, Jeffrey Hurlings 1:52.564. On Wednesday, when it was the MXGP of Città di Faenza, it was a 1:52.4, so 1/10 quicker. Today, the lap times 1:50.705. Arminas Jasikonis. The Fly Racing 15-second board goes up. MXGP Race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Round 8 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Emilia Romagna. Jasikonis nearest to us, and somebody tried to go too early. Looks like it might have been Jose Boutron. Oh, Walsh and Prado. But it's Cairoli who emerges with the lead coming out of that first turn. Nothing wrong with that stop, Honda. of Dylan Walsh. Was that Seewer just getting a little bit loose as he came through that turn? Prado up the inside of him. Cairoli bobbles. That might play into the hands of Prado, who goes to the outside. But Cairoli leads, but for how much longer? Prado up to the inside, straight away, taking the lead away from the 222. Seewer tries to lean, and they both collide, and they both stay up. Drama on the opening lap between Seewer and Cairoli. And Lupino right there in 4th place. Gajser, 5th. Wow, don't need that on the first lap. So Prado leads. Seewer there in 2nd. Cairoli 3rd. Gajser 4th. Lupino is in 5th. 6th is Bobryshev. 7th is Valandrin. So he's lost a couple of positions since he made his way through the first turn. 8th is Pichon. 9th, Dylan Walsh. He's also lost a little bit of ground. Then 10th, I think, might be Paulin, and then Febvre. Working their way downhill for the first time. There's Lupino. And Gajser lining up Cairoli early. Doesn't want to spend too much time, and a nudge down the inside, and Gajser goes down, just too impatient. Tried to ride roughshod, and Bobryshev down as well. Tried to ruffle the feathers of Cairoli, and in the end it was he who went down. So Prado leads the way. Seewer 2nd, Cairoli 3rd, Lupino 4th, Valandrin 5th. Febvre just there, trying to find his way past Paulin. Those two fighting over 6th place. Paulin was not a happy camper this morning in time practice. Got held up by Artem Guriev in the time session. Slight bobble there. Febvre looks to go around the outside. Febvre Desau to the inside, takes away the position from Walsh, and the two older boys, Gajser and Mitch Evans, locked together there as well. So Gajser picked himself up. Where was he actually? 10th. Desau just gets closed down there by Calvin Valandrin, who's going after Paulin. The Gavin van Venrooy Yamaha going alongside the Monster Energy Yamaha, number 21 here. He'll go to the outside and step up onto the plateau. Let's see if there's a difference there. There is. But then he loses out. Big booming 4-stroke 450s. Exploding into life here. Faenza at the Monte Cairoli circuit. Febvre has been down. And number 3. Right. At the end of the waves. Ooh, straight on. Fortunately, he's back on the bike. Okay, let's bring you up to speed with what's going on here then. Prado leads. Seewer, though, sets the fastest lap of the race in 2nd. Cairoli is 3rd. Lupino 4th. Paulin is 5th. Here he is in, the lead red rider there on that Monster Energy Yamaha. He's got Mitch Evans behind him, number 43. Team HRC in 6th place. Evans has got... who's this here? Cairoli and Seewer. That was the opening lap. Seewer emerged from there in 2nd. And then look at this, just trying to run down the inside. Then Bobryshev just comes around the corner and also goes down. That was a mistake there from Gajser, though. So back at the sharp end. Desau looks like he's bringing his A game with him today. Alongside the 43 of Mitch Evans, or trying to get there as they head up through the waves. So we've got Prado, Seewer, Cairoli, Lupino, Paulin. Evans, and then DeSalle. So DeSalle just being passed by the Australian. And Evans already looking to go around the outside of Paulin. Paulin cruising. What is wrong with Paulin? Just had a moment. Looks like he's just bringing it back together. So Lupino just ahead of him, 4th. Evans now in 5th place. Here's Prado. Gap between him and Seewer, just over 2 seconds. And 1:55, fastest lap of the race so far for Prado. Cairoli 3rd, Lupino 4, Evans 5, Paulin 6, DeSalle 7. Great ride this for Alessandro Lupino. The Kevin Van Benroy Yamaha rider, obviously new bike, same team. And here he is in Italy, where we've got fans cheering him on today. And he's there. It's the second best Italian rider. The best Italian rider is ahead of him in 3rd place, Tony Cairoli. Here's DeSalle under pressure from Gajser. This is for 7th place. Paulin just ahead of them. Koldenhoff just behind them. Standing construct Gasgas, there he is. The 259. Then we've got Walsh in 10th, still there for JM Honda Racing. Van Horbik, Honda SR Motor Blues. As Gajser cruises by DeSalle, top of the hill. That's for 7th. Not where Gajser would want to be. As it stands right now, Herling still leads the championship on 2.63. Cairoli on 2.61 because he's in 3rd place. It's only 20 points. The gap is 22 points. So 2.63, 2.61. It's Gajser now making strides. This is where he made his mistake earlier on in the race at the end of the first lap. So DeSalle comes through. So too does Gajser. He's got Paulin just ahead of him. So Gajser now in 7th place. DeSalle 8th. Koldenhoff 9. Jasikonis, your pole man, in 10th position at 1:56.3. He's in traffic as well. So he is on a charge, but he's 16 seconds off the lead. Lupino trying to fend off the 43 of Mitch Evans. Evans in 5th place. So once again, inside the top 5, the rider for Team HRC there, the Australian. This would be a nice boost of confidence for Lupino. Spoke to him yesterday. Said he's happy with the changes and the progress they're making with the bike. So that's good. Just holding a nice tight line there. Doesn't want to put himself under pressure. Up onto that plateau. The outside line working better than the insides now. They're not as nadgery. Saw that in MX2. Bobrashev in. So the PAR Homes, RFX Husqvarna rider Neil Prince there to the right. Prado, his fastest man on track last time around, getting ready to come through. In fact, he has gone through now, 55.8, so only about 3/10 slower, but Seewer goes quicker by 3/4 of a second. He's got the gap down to 2.1. Paulin, his teammate, number 21 here, now under the watchful eye of Tim Gajser. These two fighting over 6th place. DeSalle hasn't been dropped either. So latching onto the rear wheel of Gajser. Gajser started the day 4 points behind Cairoli, currently 10 points behind the 9-time champ at the moment. Well, doesn't look that comfortable at the moment, just sort of seems to be fighting the bike a little bit. Not his normal relaxed, fluid self. Here's his teammate, Seewer. He's got Prado right there ahead of him, I think. Yes, he has. So it's not 2.1 seconds anymore. Jeremy Seewer going after his second race win, if he can. First, though, he's got to find his way past Prado. There's the gap between first and second. See those middle lines, just very choppy. I'm going to go shopping, look to the outside maybe. Ground not quite hard and really slick, loose marbles, but it's getting that way. Evans around the outside of Lupino. So now up into 4th place. Bogus. Brian Bogus has been off then on the wave section, the Marchetti Racing KTM rider. He was in 17th position. But Evans with his head down, now up into 4th place. Gajser has passed Paulin. So Gajser now 6th. Paulin 7th, the Sal 8th, Koldenhoff 9th. Locked together, wheel to wheel as they head back down the start straight. MXGP race 1 here. 18 minutes plus 2 to go, round 8. The MXGP of Emilia Romagna. Jorge Prado goes defensive. DeSalle to the outside. And again, switches lines. Not as far out this time. Koldenhoff follows him in. Oh, Koldenhoff almost into the back wheel of DeSalle there, who stopped quite suddenly on that step up just to pick his line. All of a sudden, you know, the championship, so obviously we're going to get a new championship leader after this second race later on in the day. Be interesting to see how the points shape up and how close everybody is, and who then looks at that and says, right, any one of 5 or 6 or 7 of us can be world champion this year. Slightly different aspect to how the season goes from here, or the next few races go from here. Koldenhoff looking to find a way past the Kawasaki. He goes from one side of the track to the other. Might cut from right to left at the top of the hill there as well. Seewer getting dropped here this lap. It was 1.7 seconds. Prado has had a better lap this time around, I think. 156.6, 157.4, so the gap now 2.5 between him and Seewer. Antonio Cairoli, 156.3, the fastest of those 3 guys, actually. All of a sudden, Cairoli effectively, as it stands right now, the championship leader, because although he's 2 points behind his teammate, his absent teammate. Right, Koldenhoff around the outside of DeSalle. That's on the final turn, getting back onto the start straight. So moves himself up into 8th. These guys are pushing a real good pace. It's hot outside, 32, 33 degrees, not a lot of wind. You've got a hard, slick racetrack. It's fast as well. Only the corners are rutty like they were on Wednesday and on Sunday. But everywhere else, not too many bumps starting to appear at the bottom of the hills and all that. So in aspects, the racetrack a little bit quicker than it was on the previous 2 visits. Here's Dylan Walsh, JM Honda. Valandrin and Febvre. So Febvre working his way back through the field. He is now into 15th place. Finds a way up the inside, though. Valandrin moves into 14th. Hard charge through for the Frenchman. He was down for a while when he went straight on through the barriers there. Unfortunately, that's just a natural hillside there. There's no big drop-offs there. You wouldn't want to go off here, though. That part of the racetrack. Walsh doing a good job of... Oh, this is it, look. Caught a hole, and then it was just, whoa, hang on a minute, where are we going? Oh, there he is. We've got Walsh just ahead of him. Kiwi, who's in for, and there you go, the Kawasaki just cruising alongside, stays a little bit lower. Walsh actually overjumped there as well. So Febvre, 2 positions in the space of a lap. Prado continues to lead, 1.9 clear of Seewer. Cairoli 3rd, 4th is Evans, 5th Lupino. Gajser 6th, bottom of the hill. Paulin in red, 21 is in 7th. Koldenoff just behind him here. The second rider in shot is in 8th place. The standing construct Gas. It's pretty chewed up down there, isn't it? Inside or outside at the moment. Haven't seen too much of Jasakonis. He's in 10th at the moment behind DeSalle. Then we've got Van Horik, Tixier, Febvre, Walsh, Blandren, Monticelli in 16, Jacobi, Covington, Petrov, Rauschenecker. They top 20. Looks a little bit more frustrating, the track today, for the riders. AJ, there he is, right on cue. So the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider onto the rear wheel of Clement DeSalle on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. These two fighting over 9th place. Jasakonis, blindingly fast in time practice. His 3rd pole of the season. Didn't get the best start. Have to pay a bit more attention when we show a replay of the start, whether he just had a problem over the gate or going down the start straight into the first turn, or maybe there was something else, but he's had to come from a long way down. Has the pole man. And he will also know that he's a contender for the championship now as well. Although he's lost a position now, though. He was 5th at the start of the day, but Koldenoff is going to go by him. Or is he? Let's have a look. Prado actually has moved up. So the championship now, Herlings, Cairoli, Gajser. Seewer, 4th, Prado 5th, Jasakonis, then Koldenoff, and then Paulin 8th. 11 minutes plus 2 to go. Riders are really having to pay attention on this racetrack today. Look at that. Just towards the end there of the waves, then you've got that step at the bottom of 1, so they're having to sort of clear that with the back end rather than ride through it. But AJ, good drive at the top of the hill, looks to go around the outside. He'll step up onto the plateau here. Oh, just around the outside, up on the pegs. Absolutely sublime, AJ. Oh, 1.6 all of a sudden shrunk to nothing. Game on at the front between Prado and Seewer. Right, see how this one mistake there as he just got on the gas. Jeremy Seewer. All that work has to be done again. But we saw this with Jorge Prado. Yes, you know, he's won a GP with 2 second-place finishes, but he's also not 100% fit. He can do this for 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but then it just starts to hit him a little bit. But when you build up a lead like he has over Mitch Evans, for instance, who is in 4th place, and that gap is 12 seconds, you can afford just to fade in the later stages and not lose too many points. But he'll want to go for the win, but so too Jeremy Seewer. He's already a race winner on Wednesday when he won the first race. We want to do it again. He was disappointed with his third place finish on the podium because that he'd won the race. He knew he had a real opportunity to win the Grand Prix. Prado, Seewer, getting back on track. Back onto the rear wheel of the Spaniard. Team look on down there, Louis Voster's team owner on the left. I'm saying not an easy race, frustrating racetrack today. Seewer enjoying the hard pack terrain. Second and third overall so far in the first 2 rounds here at Faenza. Cairoli only about 3.5 seconds further back at the start of that lap. So Seewer can't afford to get stuck behind the number 61 here, although that gap looks like it may have opened up ever so slightly. This time he buries that Yamaha deep and he tries to get alongside again, but just runs out of time at the end of the start straight. But again, putting Prado under pressure. These two fighting for the lead at 25 points. Boy, he had to pull out there, didn't he, Seewer? Could have jumped long, but anticipated that Prado may have gone around the outside, carried some speed. That would have been a collision waiting to happen. Just watch. Prado commits to the outside, and you can get good speed there. So nothing in it between first and second. Jorge Prado and Jeremy Seewer. We're on lap 11. Back end just caught the ridge there, just towards the top through that wave section on Prado's KTM. See, we're up on the pegs, nice and patient. Is it quicker to go around the outside like AJ did when you're that close? Oh, Paulhan, bottom of the hill, turn 8. So the Montreal's Yamaha rider falling from 7th, and Febvre's right there. So, ugly crash, slams himself into the bank. AJ did well to avoid him and holding off. Oh, was that a misgear? .3 as they hit the line. Right, he tried it last time. Is he going to be successful this time? Gets on the gas. Prado goes a little bit more defensive, but frustrating Seewer now. Got to go for it. He does. Jumps a little bit longer, getting a bit braver, and he gets good commitment to the top of the hill here. Round the outside, are we going to see a new leader at the bottom of the hill? He has to go inside. Prado goes to the outside. Seewer will close the door, but they almost touch on the way up. Prado not giving an inch. Fascinating stuff this between these two. Cairoli all of a sudden closing in again, possibly. If these two keep this up, he will be on their rear wheel in the next 3 or 4 laps. Towards the end of the race, that'll be. There, you've got to get over that ridge. Right, outside. Follow your man. See that outside there? Maybe you can just carry a bit more speed, I don't know, but he's right where he needs to be, though. Line for line. Keeping it nice and smooth. The only difference in line here is this one. Cutting to the inside, maybe trimmed back 1 or 2 bike lengths there. And he's all over the back of Prado now as they head down that final jump-laden straight. 5 minutes plus 2 to go. Prado going after his first win, race win in MXGP. Closing the door again. on Seewer, who cuts to the inside. No way through there either. 5 seconds a gap between first and third at the end of lap 11. At the end of lap 12, it's 3.3. Cairoli is closing. Seewer needs to move, and he needs to move now, because 3 riders chasing the win this late on. You don't want to get involved in that little tussle. Goes to the inside again. Same lines as before. Can he get out of here early? No, he's going to carry the momentum around the outside. Prado cuts to the inside. Seewer knew that. And the Yamaha rider gets good drive heading uphill, but he's going to have to park it to the inside here. Great performance from both riders. Great performance from Prado. New to the class, don't forget. He was absolutely spent after race 2 on Wednesday. Put everything into it. And Seewer putting everything into this as well. He's going to out-drag the KTM at the top of the hill here, or he's going to have to go to an inside line. Oh, nice. All the while, Cairoli is closing though. Bobble there from Seewer. Big jump, big landing, big panic rev as well from the Swiss. Oh, flash of yellow helmet there. Cairoli and Febvre down. Just heading up towards the waves. Not been his day, not been his race. "13 laps complete." Closes the door. Prado on Seewer. Seewer so close, yet so far at the moment. Again, 2.9 now, the gap back to Cairoli. He is getting interested. Seewer has to do something now, though. All of a sudden, race coming alive. Cairoli realises he's got a real opportunity here to take control of this championship. Back there in the background. Gajser, his closest rival, is in 6th, but any one of these guys will win a championship this year. Oh, Prado almost out the front door, and he gets caught behind Guriev. Seewer has to commit. He does. That distinctive note, that Yamaha, just a couple of panic revs right towards the end of the wave section. Seewer's running out of time to do something about Prado, and he's also going to have one eye on him as well, because behind him, because Cairoli is closing and closing fast. There he is. Oh, another panic rev moment there from Seewer. How cruel would it be if Cairoli just arrives now, 3rd, picks off both these guys? It'd be great for him, but for these two, yeah, Seewer knows he's got to go. He's got to go now. Can't take your eyes off the action here. 3 laps to go. Seewer goes to that middle rut again. Can he get more purchase this time? Yes, but then a mistake on the exit of the turn. At some point, you have to make a decision at the first corner there. Right, is he close enough this time? Oh, oh! Seewer picks himself up, but a costly error. That lets Prado off the hook, but for how long? The Swiss will remount in 3rd. And it looks like Cairoli is just going to let his teammate take the win here. Watch this. Jumps in, but the back end just came around on him, and that was it. Ugh. Right on the ribs. Jorge Prado on course for taking his first race win in MXGP. It looks like Cairoli has just said, right, I was closing in, I was prepared to do battle with both of you, but look, the gap has opened up now. I think Cairoli will sit back, let his teammate take the win, but generous if that's the case. How much time did Seewer lose in that? Let's have a look, sector 1. About 8 seconds it cost him. Heading into the penultimate lap, number 61, Jorge Prado can breathe a sigh of relief. Seewer over the line in third. 7 seconds down on Cairoli. Doesn't look like he's going to find his way back onto the rear wheel for a second place finish here. But just getting frustrated, just trying time and time again. He still goes back to that inside. Meanwhile, Febvre back up into 11th with a move on Van Horebig. Frustrating race for the Frenchman, the former world champ. Jacoby has passed Dylan Walsh for 16th place. Cairoli is starting to close back in again. So maybe the board signal that he got would say, and he's tied on points with Hurlings at the moment, now that he's got into second, Tony Cairoli. If he wins the race, he takes over the championship lead. Here's Paulin and Febvre. Both these guys having a difficult race. Paulin crashing hard at the bottom of the hill. Looks across helplessly, sees Febvre there. Febvre's had 2 off-track excursions as well of his own. There's first and second, the 2 Red Bull KTMs, Prado, Cairoli. A lap to go. Is there any fight left in Cairoli? We'll soon find out, won't we? Another slight bobble there coming out of that final corner. I think Prado may just have enough in hand as he enters the final lap, leading MXGP Race 1. Cairoli's got about 10 seconds over Seewer. So if he does want to launch an attack, he hasn't got to worry about the consequences of a slight mistake leaving the door open. Jasikonis on the Pinot, 27, closing in on the 77. This is for 6th place. Gajser just at the top of the hill. Been a strange ride for Gajser as Jasikonis does go around the outside. I think Jasikonis could pick off Gajser here on the final lap as well. To the outside, AJ, Rockstar and AJ Husqvarna coming towards us in red. Gajser ahead of him. The team HRC. Top of the wave section through the long left, around the outside. Anyone for a pass for that 5th place? And we get to that point on the racetrack. Gajser can't afford to switch off. AJ is in attack mode here. There you go, straight to the outside. Up on the pegs, hitting the sweet spot again. And he does, but he can't make the pass happen. A mistake then from Gajser, looks across and sees Jasikonis there. He knows he's under attack now. Might just be able to bail himself out, but Jorge Prado cruises through the final corner. He takes his first race win in MXGP. He weathered the storm, he took the pressure perfectly. Cairoli gives him a quick congratulations. Those two are definitely in the title hunt now. So too, Gajser and Gajser. A mistake from Gajser, but easy. Oh, he's just going to hang on. Great finish. So Prado wins it. 1.7 seconds in the end over his teammate. Antonio Cairoli third, Seewer fourth, Evans, Gajser fifth, Gajser sixth, Lupino seventh, Holdenoff eighth, De South crosses the line now. And we should have Roman Febvre coming towards us in 10th place. Paulin will have to settle for 11th. Hard hit the bottom of the hill for the Frenchman. Van Horbeke 12, Tixier, Valana and Monticelli, Jacobi, Walsh, Covington, Petrov, Tom Kopp. That should be the order. Of course, we've still got riders coming over the line now. Anyway, we'll try and grab a quick word with Jorge Prado, our race winner, in a moment, shall we? Should be getting ready to speak to Lisa Leyland. And right on cue, here they are. Lisa with Prado.
Jorge Prado, congratulations, your first MXGP race win. Great job defending that lead from Seewer. You kept closing the door, you just would not let him pass.
Yeah, it was a very hard model. Yesterday I was struggling with some stomach issues. I was in bed all day long, and today I really feel that sickness of yesterday. So I push, I'm running quite good, so I defend the third position very well, and I'm so happy.
Good luck for the second race, thank you.
Jorge Prado, your winner from race one. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing took everything that Seewer threw at him to the point that Seewer threw himself down the track. That led him off the hook. There was a threat of Cairoli closing in the latter stages, but the Spaniard hung on to take his first race win in MXGP, and the title chase now could not be tighter. Confirmation then of MXGP race one here, MXGP of Emilia Romagna. Prado wins it from his teammate Cairoli. Seewer third, Evans fourth, Tim Gajser fifth. Very lonely ride for the defending champ. Gajser sixth, Lupino seventh, Holdenoff eighth, ninth for De South, and 10th for Febvre. Paulin was 11th, ahead of Jeremy Van Horbeke, Jordi Tixier, Calvin Valana, Ivo Monticelli rounding out the top 15, followed by Henry Jacobi, Dylan Walsh, Thomas Covington, Petr Petrov, and Tom Kopp. Well, should we check some highlights out then? I think so, don't you? Here's the highlights from race one. Over on the left-hand side, Gajser probably got squeezed to the outside, but it was Walsh, Prado and Cairoli. Prado probably just picking up the foxhole shot. Cairoli, though, slipped up to the inside. He and Seewer, tag bars, both stayed up miraculously. Seewer emerged in second place. He then went on a race-long battle. Watch this here. Cairoli and Gajser. Gajser trying to get into the inside of the 9-time champ, but then falling down himself. Bobryshev also fell in that corner. Top right, Roman Febvre, end of the first lap, disappeared out of sight, and then re-emerged right at the back. Had a lot of work to do. Not the time to go sightseeing. Evans found his way round the outside of Lupino. That was for fourth early on. Evans would eventually finish in that fourth place. Gajser coming through the field, made this move on Clement de South. That put him into ninth. He would climb a little bit further up the leaderboard as well. All eyes are on this fantastic battle, though, between Jorge Prado and Jeremy Seewer. Seewer got close on several occasions in the latter stages of the race. He made a mistake, but not as big a mistake as his teammate, Gauthier Paulin. Paulin fell from 7th. He would eventually finish 11th. These two were just tearing strips off of each other. Jorge Prado and Jeremy Seewer. Febvre down again. but he eventually came home to finish in 10th. So just lost one place and regained it. This was the moment, though. Seewer just got it completely wrong, threw himself down the track and out of second. Cairoli went through. Seewer would come home in 3rd place. That fall, and now Prado, an easier route through to the finish line. He took the flag ahead of Cairoli, Seewer, Evans and Gajser. And it was a first race win in MXGP for the young Spaniard. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Starting to become a good habit again, isn't it? 6 now for Jorge Prado. This time, though, he turns it into a race win in MXGP. Ivo Monticelli on 3, Tim Gajser on 2, and then on 1 we've got Koldenhoff, Herlings, Jacobi and Seewer. Right, take a look at some of the best moments, and I think there's a few flying W's in there as well. Sit back and enjoy. Some of the best moments, some of the highlights from MXGP Race 1 here at Emilia, Romagna. We'll take a break now for just over an hour. Join us at 3 o'clock local time for MX2 Race 2, and after that, MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.